So a few things I wish I would have known before I even, you know, I get this all the time. I get this line of questioning, like what are some things you would have changed or you would change differently from you being where you are now or how you started. And most people know. And if you go back and look at my old videos, or if you was following my journey when I was with Landstar, you can go back and you can see um, how I started my journey and what I was doing and different things like that. So for me, I started my dream with a tax refund. Okay, I always tell people I started my company with a tax refund and a dream. A tax refund and a dream. And so looking back, yeah, I was definitely walking out in faith. I believe that was the way I was supposed to go, and God kept me the whole time. He allowed me to get through that. And you look back and be like, man, I can't believe how, I'm not gonna say foolish, but I will say foolish because man, like I was operating a business with like $3,000 or $4,000 in the bank, and thinking that I, I, I was just hoping that nothing didn't tear up. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have no business credit. I was working on my personal credit, and so if I had it to do all over again, I would change a whole bunch of stuff. And number one would be, of course, I would still operate in faith, walk in faith, different things like that. But first things first, um, if I was starting from day one, I mean, I had a plan. I knew what I wanted to do, but I just knew that just being over there, being an owner operator, being at Landstar, and starting my journey, I just knew that, man, I was trying to do something different other than being a company driver. Plus, I wanted more money. Okay, so one of the things that I would change, I mean, one of the things that I would do, uh, first of all, you get a business plan. Now, Now it doesn't matter what kind of business you have. I don't care if you selling paintings or if you selling food or a lawyer or you're a restaurant. I mean, it doesn't matter, a food truck, whatever. But whatever you're doing, you need to make sure that you have a plan. There needs to be a clear business plan to show you where you're going to. And if you don't have that business plan, guess what you're going to do? Even the Bible talks about write the vision and make it plain. So you want to make sure that you write your business plan out, type it out, whatever. You want to make sure that you write that thing out so that you will know where you're going to. You don't want to be wasting a whole bunch of time over here doing something that really ain't gonna, you don't know where you're going. You don't know what kind of goal you're trying to achieve, or nothing. You don't know. Okay, if your goal is to make $2,500 a week net or whatever, you don't even know if you hit the goal because you haven't written the goal down. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what opportunities to take. All you doing is just out there. You still grinding like with your head down, and you really don't know exactly what you're doing or where you're wanting to go. So you want to make sure that you have a clear business plan because that business plan is going to get you to the point to where it gives you markers. Okay, we're going to start right here, but then we're going to go from here, and we're going to go from here, and then go to here, and it lets you know. It lets you keep a track of. Okay, this is what I need to do. This is how I need to do it. Okay, and so if something don't look like the plan that you have before you, guess what? You already know or automatically know, hey, yeah, I'm not gonna do that right there because that doesn't fit in the plan. But a lot of times what people do is they'll get into the industry and they'll say, okay, I'm gonna just follow the money. I'm gonna just follow the load. Follow this right here. And then you don't have a plan, and so you end up all over the place. Okay? So that would be the first thing. You shouldn't do anything without a plan. Okay. I don't care if you get married, having kids, whatever. You need a plan for your life. Okay. Even God says, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you. And so you need to know the plans, okay, that you have for your life. And so number two is you can't have a business without no money. Okay, we're in the business to make money. We're in business to make money. We ain't running no charity organization over here. Okay, we ain't running no charity organization. So you can't run for pennies on the dollar, and you gotta make sure that you're making money. If you're not making money, you're running a nonprofit organization. Okay, but even nonprofit organizations have money coming in and have to start from somewhere. So you got to have some money. Now, back in the day, um, you could have started with less money than you could have right now. But right now, I would say, okay, to give you a good cushion after you done got your truck and stuff like that, a good 50,000 will will get you where you need to be. Okay. Now I understand that everybody ain't got $50,000, but let's say like if you have 25,000 in cash, 25,000 in credit. Okay, I would do that. Or you got $50,000 in credit or lines of credit. If you got $10,000 on each credit card, I would start with $50,000. And why do you say that? Well, I'm glad you asked. The reason why I say that is because you need to be prepared for if something breaks down. Okay, you need to be prepared if your truck breaks down. Because if you're not prepared when your truck breaks down, guess what's gonna happen? A blown out tire is gonna put you, a blowout is gonna put you on the side of the road, gonna put you out of business. Okay, so you need to be prepared for those issues. And then guess what? When you're, let's say like if something happens to your truck or something like that, and let's say it's covered up under warranty. Let's say you still got a truck and the truck is covered up under warranty. If the truck is covered up under warning, I mean under warranty, guess what? They're gonna fix your truck. But who knows when they're gonna have the part? Who knows when they're gonna get to your truck? It could be 2 weeks. It could be 3 weeks. I done heard of people waiting 6 weeks, 2 months. Okay, so why do I say $50,000? Because in that time, especially if you're independent, what you gonna do? You need to be able to have money to live because you can recoup the money. You're gonna be able to recoup that money, but you need to be able to have the money to live, and you need to be able to have the money to take care of home as well. Because most people, even though you hear about some truckers living on the truck, most people ain't living on the truck. Most people they got a house somewhere. They got family. You still need to be able to take care of your family. Okay? So you want to make sure that you're, and then let's say like if it's something that, let's say if it's something that's not covered up under warranty. If the thing is not covered up under warranty, guess what you need to do? You need to be able to have money. Let's say like you live in Atlanta, you get stuck out in Phoenix, Arizona. So what you gonna do? You're gonna fly back. You're gonna ride the bus back. You're gonna get a ride back with a partner. What you gonna do? You're gonna rent a car, or you're gonna stay out there for however long it takes in a hotel. You need to be prepared for these instances when they arise. Okay, so you need to make sure that you have uh, some credit. You need to make sure that you have cash. You need to make sure, and especially business credit, because the way you spend business credit, and I'm not gonna go into that right now, but the amount of business credit you can get versus personal credit, and what you can do with your business credit versus your personal credit, totally different. Okay, the way that they looked at each other, that the way that they look at each other, you can't. It's gonna be totally different the way you spend business credit and the way you in business credit they want you to spend the money. Personal credit, they really don't want you to spend it. They want to let you know that okay, it's here, but over if you go over above a certain threshold, let's say 30%, 35%, if you go above that, even 10% for some people may say 10%. If you go above that, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna be looking at you like you're crazy, and then when you try to ask for another line, you're probably gonna get denied. So that business credit is gonna be crucial. So, and a lot of times in this industry, it's not if your truck breaks down, it's when your truck breaks down. So let's say like you live in Atlanta. and you're out in Phoenix, Arizona, your truck break down, and you got to be in the hotel for 2 weeks. You got to eat for 2 weeks. You got to while they out there fixing your truck, and then plus you got to pay them. Now let's say if it's, let's say the job may be $8,000. Let's say it may be $13,000, and let's add up all the hotel rooms and all the stuff you got to do out there, and then plus, guess what? You're not even working. You're not working for that time that you're down, so you're missing money right there. Now let's say it's $1,500 a day. Well, we ain't gonna go into that, but well, we can go into that. You're missing $1,500 a day or $1,000 a day. Just depends on what your number is based upon your family size. So you're missing money the whole time because your truck is in the shop. So the reason for the $50,000, you got to pay stuff, and then plus you got business bills, plus you got your personal bills. Okay, now a lot of people they forget about they think about the personal bills, but you got business bills as well. You got business stuff that comes out of your bank account, especially if you're doing it right. But you got to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, that you're making sure that you got enough capital to be able to start your business and fund your business. Okay, because when you start up, you got to get permits, you got to get IFTA, you got to pay your insurance. And guess if you down for 2 months, guess what? You still got to have insurance on the truck, and you still gonna have to pay that. So you got to pay insurance, you got to pay IFTA, you got to pay permits, you got to get your tag, your 2290, you got to get all this stuff. Okay, and if you don't have this stuff, you're not gonna be able to run. Now, I should have said the first things first, but I think this is the third thing that I'm going to tell you. It's right neck and neck up there with the first. Okay? I always tell people do not get in trucking expecting that you're going to live off the load board. Okay? That you're going to live off the load board because you're going to have to be there. You're going to have to get them loads. Them loads, they're going to pop up there. Like you got trucker tools, you got DAT, you got truck stop, you got these boards, and people they gonna put loads up there. And when they put the loads up there, guess what? Everybody else is out there like vultures looking for these loads. As soon as they put a good paying load up there, pew, it's gone because people know the value of these loads. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you secure the bag first. What do I mean by secure the bag? Secure the bag means that you make sure that you get to some relationships first. Go into the thing knowing that you got some dedicated freight, that you got some freight that you're gonna be able to depend on for your business to run successfully. Okay, so that you don't have to be stuck somewhere. Go ahead and start making lanes right now, even if you're a company driver. Even if you're thinking about getting into the industry, go ahead and start making lanes now. Go ahead and start seeing what people have for you and see if that's going to be beneficial for your truck to run. Because you just don't want to take anything. I know people right now. I know plenty of brokers. But the brokers that I know, you know what they're going to say? Hey man, yeah, we got the loads. We got loads that can go here. Got loads that go here. Okay, what the load pay? Well, they're not paying what I want them to pay, and so they're a good broker, but they're not good for me at the particular time because I have a goal, I have a bottom line that I'm not trying to go beneath, and they're not coming up above that. Now, if I'm trying to help them out, or maybe I'm trying to get out of a jam or something like that, or trying to get to the house, I may hit them up and be like, hey, um, hey, I need a load going from here to here. So you can hit people up and do that right there. But as far as living off the load board, you you can't live off the load board. I hear so many people complaining about living off the load board. Now the load board is good for a few things. You can sustain yourself. You can sustain yourself in certain times off the load board. But as far as just living, I suggest that you get you a I suggest that you get you like a dedicated broker, a dedicated shipper, a lane that you can run to where these people they have freight. It's direct freight. Okay. from a direct shipper, and nothing is being cut off the top. Okay, and so in order to do that, you got to build relationships. I would say secure them relationships first. Once you secure them relationships, guess what? Guess what can happen? Now you can start going head first into the industry because you got your equipment. Plus, not only with having your equipment, you got your money just in case something happens to the equipment. I done heard so many horror stories about people getting their equipment and then the next week something happens, or on the first load is something that goes on with the truck or whatever. They don't have the load, they don't have the truck for a month. Now after they don't have the truck for a month, something else done happen, and it's like, man, like, you know things happen in trucking, but like, man, like, you got to be prepared for these things. And so, number one, make sure that you build you some relationships. And these can be in any order, but number one, make sure you build you some relationships. Secure that bag first. Number two, make sure that you have about $50,000, whether that be in cash, whether that be in credit, it can be in both. It can be cash and credit. It can be lines of credit. You know. And number three, make sure that you got you some credit. Okay? Make sure you got you some credit. Oh, what was number three? I think I might have forgot something. No, it wasn't number. So I said make sure you have some business credit. I touched on that. Then I said make sure that you have what I say like the $50,000. Oh, a business plan. You gotta have you a business plan. You got to have a business plan. Even the Bible says, write the vision, make it plain, that they may run. Okay? So, write the vision, make it plain. And you know what? One thing I like about that scripture right there, it talks about write the vision, make it plain, so they may run. Well, I like that right there because it puts fire up under your feet. Once you write it down, it holds you accountable. And I like it because to me, I can look at it both ways and say, okay, once I write my vision and I make it plain, guess what? I'm able to run and I'm able to go after the things that's on my vision board that I have written down. The other thing that I see, and the other perspective that I see is write the vision, make it plain, that they may run, that the people and the opportunities and the things that's coming towards you, those things can run towards you instead of running away from you. Okay? Those things can run towards you instead of running away from you because they don't know which way to go. Opportunities don't know to hit you upside the head because you hadn't written nothing down. You hadn't wrote nothing down. Um, so write the vision, make it plain, go exactly where you want to go, and don't be listening to the haters or the naysayers because guess what? There's always going to be somebody that's hating. There's always going to be, and one of the biggest people that's going to be hating on you is going to be you. Okay? It's going to be you because you're listening to outside voices telling you, oh man, you can't do this, you can't do that. I wouldn't do this if I was you. All the things that people told me, I wouldn't do this if I was you, or this is a bad time, this is the wrong time. Guess what? It turned out to be excellent for me. It turned out to be excellent for me. Okay? And so you want to make sure that you write the vision, that you make it plain. Because once you write the vision and make it plain, guess what? Opportunities start coming towards you. The tools that you need start coming towards you. The resources that you need start coming towards you. You start attracting this stuff towards you because you have written this stuff down. Plus, you believe it. You understand what I'm saying? So, man, that's all I got for you today, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share this out to some different people. This has been three things that I wish I would have known before I got in the trucking industry, or three things that I would do before getting into the trucking industry or the transportation industry, whatever it may be. Probably three things I would do before getting into the trucking industry. So make sure that you like, subscribe, comment. And until next time, man, y'all let me know y'all top three things that y'all would do if y'all was getting into the industry. Let me know your top three things that you would do getting into the industry so that we can all help one another in our journey. It's your boy, L Boogie. You know I'm blessing the Lord, how the baby decided about you, excited about the word of God. My cup is running over, and I still want some more. How about you? Peace.